Have you ever felt like the main character? Today we're going to talk about someone who hasn't. Haku. Born in a small village from the country of the mist, he stayed with his parents who were pretty chill. However, the land of the mist was in constant civil wars. Some people within the land was known to have advanced blood, and they were despised. Advanced blood, also known as a Kekkei Genkai, is a unique power that is passed down within a family bloodline. The ones gifted with these powers were used as war weapons while also being blamed for the country's hardships of constant war. After all the wars, the ones with these powers tried to lay low and keep their powers a secret. Why is this important? Turns out that Haku has these special powers. His mother was from a powerful bloodline that possesses ice release. However, she never shared that with his father. When his father found out, he was livid. First killing Haku's mom and then attacking Haku, a little kid forced to kill his father in self-defense, and now has no one left and no will to continue. Haku has given up, then he is found by Zabuza. Zabuza only interested in Haku's powers, but Haku is okay with that. Haku now has purpose. Breezing over some basics, Haku is from the Yuki clan. He's about 5'1" in height and he's only 15 years old. He has dark brown eyes and his birthday is January 9th. Nice, now give his ID back. Now that we have a good understanding of who this kid is, what has he done? Being one of the first real villains of the show, Haku don't have a ton of scenes, but since we're doing a breakdown here, there's technically 4 real appearances, 3 out of the 4 being during Naruto's first C-rank mission. The first appearance is during Team 7's encounter with Zabuza. A rogue ninja from the mist was given a mission from a crooked businessman named Gato. The mission is to take out the bridge builder that is being guarded by Team 7. Well, after Kakashi smacks up Zabuza with his own jutsu, a masked individual shows up and throws 2 needles through Zabuza's neck for the finishing blow. Actually, it put him in a temporary state of death, but that masked individual is Haku. Haku, pretending to be a tracker ninja, tells Team 7 what they want to hear and then flees the scene with Zabuza's body. Once they retreat and are in the clear, Zabuza is quite harsh towards Haku for the rough actions. Haku then follows up by explaining he only had Zabuza's best interest in mind during the escape, then hits us with this line.
And I wouldn't want to mark up your flawless body.
Hey, yo!
Then they go to shelter while Zabuza recovers and Gato makes a visit with his bodyguards. Gato, being disrespectful, reaches out for Zabuza only to be stopped by Haku. Haku told Gato to keep his cheese puff hands away from Zabuza and breaks his arm in the process. Gato's guards try to step in, but Haku takes both their swords and puts them in check real quick. Zoro would be impressed with these sword skills, not gonna lie. Gato then wraps up this visit in frustration and then heads out with his guards. Impressive for a debut, no doubt. So what can this kid do? Let's pull up his resume. Looks like he was trained by Zabuza, became familiar in silent killing just like his teacher, knowledgeable in physiology, and has a special ability that is his Kekkei Genkai of ice release. He uses it for demonic ice mirrors or crystal ice mirrors in the anime. We shall see this a little later. As for now, let's get into the second appearance. This whole interaction is a real display of character. 6 days after the first appearance, Haku is out getting some herbs for Zabuza when he runs into a slumped Naruto. Naruto knocked out like Snorlax. Haku could have ended the show right there. The show could have been called Haku of the Mist, but he's a good person. No need to attack someone while they're resting. Besides, look at his face. Someone that handsome couldn't do such a horrible act.
Hey, yo!
He knows Naruto was with Kakashi when Zabuza was injured, but he overlooks that fact and checks on Naruto to ensure he's okay. What a hero. When Naruto wakes up, he's thinking, who's this hot babe? They start yapping and Haku uses this opportunity to try and understand Naruto's motives. Haku doesn't get the whole I want to be the strongest in my village thing. He shares his view on how looking out for someone you care for will lead to gaining true strength and becoming strong. And he also throws in that he's actually a boy. Naruto was flabbergasted. Haku then rolls out and walks past Sasuke, and Sasuke thinks he's slick. He was trying to look at some cheeks. That is 2 out of the 4 appearances. The next appearance puts us right into the battlefield. Haku and Zabuza was camping out on the bridge like they was waiting for a new pair of Jordans, but they was waiting for the bridge builder. The bridge builder does show up. He's with Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura. Haku and Sasuke jump right into it while Kakashi and Zabuza start getting busy. Haku gets a little flashy and makes some ice needles with one hand, and Kakashi is shocked. He looks like Goku was just spawned in on the battlefield. Sasuke pulls off a nice little counter, and this wraps up with Sasuke giving Haku a nice kick to the face. It's time to power up. He can't let this happen. Haku takes off the trainer wheels and uses the power of his Kekkei Genkai. Haku traps Sasuke within the ice mirrors and spams needles at him, leaving Sasuke unable to defend or attack. Sakura thinks she has some skills and tries throwing a kunai at the mirrors. Haku pops out and casually catches it like it's a frisbee. This is when Naruto enters the fight and throws a ninja star at Haku's face. This was kind of effective. This then leads to an interesting scene where Zabuza throws some ninja stars at Naruto and Haku stops them with his needles. Zabuza calls Haku soft for the way of fighting, and then Sasuke notices that all his wounds are just surface scratches. Haku insists that he fights them how he wants. During the confusion, for some unearthly reason, Naruto jumps into the mirrors to get Sasuke out. Isn't that supposed to be the main character? Come on now. Haku then gets back into the mirrors and makes it rain needles. Both of the opponents are trapped, so it's kinda easy for him at this point. Naruto does try using some shadow clones while Sasuke uses the fireball jutsu a couple of times, but both don't do much. Since Haku is in the driver's seat, he has his enemies against the wall. He spills the beans. Haku isn't attempting to kill these two, he's just keeping them trapped until the Zabuza and Kakashi fight is over. However, if they continue to attack, he will kill and fulfill his duty. I said duty. While continuing to use his needles, Sasuke's starting to get the hang of things, and Haku realizes that Sasuke also has the Sharingan. Haku also realizes that this fight could not go on. Haku makes a dive towards Naruto. Sasuke does notice in time and jumps in for the rescue, and this leaves Sasuke in a critical condition. Haku praises Sasuke for his noble acts as a shinobi, while Naruto is in deep shock by the unconscious Sasuke. This is when Haku realizes that he is in some trouble, and he doesn't have to go to the principal's office, so you already know what's about to happen. Naruto's power level went up and up and up, and he had chakra that was visible. His deep anger and sadness is building the biggest monster that Haku has ever seen. Haku preps for defense while sending out some needles only to be deflected by his aura. Haku jumps through some mirrors but is caught and given one of the best punches in the show. Such a good punch that it played 2 to 3 times. This punch had Haku flying through the air like he was hit by a Mack truck. Haku stands back up while his mask and mirrors start to break away, aware that this fight is already over and is prepared for the last punch. And then Naruto sees what's behind that mask, the lovely boy from the woods. While reminded of Sasuke, Naruto lets that punch fly. Haku is disappointed. Accepting the loss of the fight, he feels his purpose is over. When a plate drops on the floor and it is broken, it has no use left. Haku feels he is no longer a working tool to aid Zabuza in his journey. He then spills his backstory to Naruto and explains why he don't feel the need to go any further. Naruto, able to relate and is still frustrated with the loss of Sasuke, leaves him hesitant but agrees to kill Haku if it will make him happy. As Naruto is charging in, you can hear the birds chirping, and Haku's purpose decided he has a different fate, apologizing to Naruto and then jumping in front of Kakashi to catch a Chidori that is meant for Zabuza, ending the story of Haku. I suppose it's worth noting that after Haku's death, the cheese puff eater Gato kicks Haku's dead body while he's on the floor, but Zabuza does make sure that Gato is punished for his actions. Haku's love towards Zabuza wasn't so one-sided after all. Zabuza had love for the kid too, he just neglected to show it while he was alive. After Zabuza finished off Gato, he was on 1 HP, but he did ask to be carried over to Haku's body as he faded off. And that wraps up that appearance. The last appearance is kind of the closure to the story of Haku. It's jumping all the way into the war arc when Kabuto thought it would be cool to bring back the dead. Kabuto allowed some of the reanimated ninja to speak freely but have no control over their movements. Since Kabuto is controlling their movements here, we won't talk too much about the fighting. Let's talk about the dialogue. It's only right that Haku and Zabuza are met with Kakashi again. Haku noticed the growth that Sakura had and even asked how Naruto was doing. Kakashi explains how Naruto created his own ninja way after their interaction, and Haku was pleased to hear it. Haku was under the impression that he did not make it in time to save Zabuza on the bridge and they both died, so he asked Kakashi to stop them again. Kakashi ensures Haku that he did stop the Chidori that was intended for Zabuza, and Zabuza died for another reason. And Haku wasn't just viewed as a tool. Zabuza didn't want his soft side to be shown, so he told Kakashi to shut his mouth, but Haku knew what Kakashi was getting at. Knowing this, and knowing that he died protecting who was important to him, and that he was also cared for, brought some tears to our hero. He had everything he ever wanted when he was alive and more. Sadly, this was short-lived. Kabuto did take full control over their body and forcing them to fight Kakashi. Kakashi was able to fulfill the request of Haku, and he was able to stop both of them again. Haku doesn't have any crazy goal like the other villains that are met later in the show. Haku just wanted to be loved and feel needed as most humans do. He was happy living with his family in the little village, but when that was ripped apart, so was he. Left with nothing, Zabuza did see some interest in him, and that's all that our GOAT asked for. Haku dedicated his whole life to Zabuza, becoming a powerful shinobi along the way. However, his kindness does hold him back a little. He stayed with Zabuza until the very end, a kind kid lost in a brutal ninja world. While he was lost very early in the story, Haku does have some lasting impact on Naruto's growth as a character. Haku teaches Naruto some important lessons of the ninja world. Haku displayed how ninjas can be deceiving, ninjas can be nice when they're not on the battlefield, and ninjas need to be prepared to kill. Haku was able to relate to Naruto, both of them being left with no one but for different reasons. Haku was a great first villain for the main character to better understand the ninja life he was diving into. Every time you hear Naruto say, "That's my ninja way," you can thank Haku.